Joe Rogan. I know what you said. I heard your little podcast. You tried to call me out. You bald-headed, spaghetti-armed, linguini-wristed ding-a-ling jabroni. Did you not think that I would find out what you said? Video games are a waste of time. You heard it from the Joe Rogan Experience himself. Just recently, he went on the air and gave his opinion about video games as a whole. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead, play this clip before I continue to bury Joe Rogan. Listen, let's check this out.
And video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun.
Addictive.
And you don't, yeah, well, I have a real problem with them. And you do them, and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do, like martial arts, right? You could learn jiu-jitsu. You get obsessed by jiu-jitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jiu-jitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well. Right. You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got a nice family, and like, that's the future. This way you're doing something exciting and fun, and you don't. Or you could just be playing fucking video games. 3 years later, you could be that same kid just playing video games, waiting for the next whatever the fuck game is, next Xbox game to come out, and you're gonna waste your time.
So there you have it, from the horse's mouth himself. Now, okay, did he directly come out and say video games are a complete waste of time? Not exactly. He compared it more to like other hobbies, other recreational activities that people can do. I think the analogy he used was somebody learning jiu-jitsu in 3 years and somebody playing the same game in 3 years. And you look in the future, see where they're at. One guy has a black belt and one guy's still in the same place, not really doing anything with his life. To me, that kind of sounded like an analogy that he was trying to compare it to a career, to something that is about money, to something that, if anything is worth doing, you're going to gain something out of it. If not, it's a waste of time. And I got to say, that's fair. That's fair. But the thing with video games is since the 70s, they've been a pretty big staple of our culture. Pop culture, entertainment. They're one of the biggest types of categories on YouTube. There's Twitch. Almost every single multimedia conglomerate out there is involved in gaming somewhere. Apple, Google, Nickelodeon makes video games. Just Disney's involved in video games. All the big multimedia conglomerates are in on it because, let's face it, it's a staple in our culture. Sony makes money off of it. Microsoft makes money off of it. Nintendo makes money off of it. Gaming is everywhere. It's solidified in our thing. And through the years, there's been debates. Do video games make people aggressive? I mean, as I stand here with a bat, video games make people aggressive? No, there's not been any conclusive study to playing violent video games making people aggressive, making them violent. There's none of that. But it's been debated throughout the years. But the main topic of discussion here is Joe Rogan's statement towards video games. It caused kind of like a little bit of a backlash today. I'm not angry, by the way. I'm just yucking it up for the camera. But you know what? Joe Rogan, if you want to roll with the Super Shot Joey Super Spectre, as I butchered my own fucking promo. If you want to roll with me, hit me up. Nah, we all know you're not going to. It's just a big joke anyway. But no, honestly, video games, there's a lot more to them than just, these people are wasting years of their life. These people are trying to make money. These people are taking donations. There's a lot more than sitting down and playing a video game for some people. For some people, video games is an avenue of escape for them. Some people don't have the best lives out there. Some people are depressed. Some people fight loneliness. This is their go-to, playing huge multiplayer online games, playing games that allow them to leave the real world and enter the mind of the imagination. Like if I want to go out and run over a few people, steal a few cars, have sex with a hooker, I'm going to play GTA 5. I'm not going to do that in real life. If I want to go on an intergalactic space adventure with my squad, I'm going to play Star Fox. If I want to go into a whimsical kingdom and jump on turtles and evil mushrooms, I'm going to play Super Mario Brothers. And that's how gaming has always been. Just like with movies, just like with TV, video games is an escape. So anything that has any kind of personal value to somebody, I feel does not make it a waste of time. You don't necessarily have to be playing video games for money. And kind of it seemed like Joe Rogan was kind of saying if you go through a variety of games, you're more likely to increase your chances of it not being a waste of time. Because it was like the whole 3 years thing, that if you're playing the same video game for 3 years, it's not going to be around later on in the future, so it was like a waste of time. I guess this was more in regards to like the esports and stuff. You know, sure, the clip might be being taken out of context in general online with other people and stuff, but I watched it. I watched the podcast, I watched the clips, and I just wanted to kind of emphasize the fact that video games is so much more than something that somebody could just make money off of. That you know, people, not everybody that plays games needs to be an esports person for competition. You know, things are what you make it in life. It's almost like when you decide to play recreational co-ed softball. You know, if I'm going to go out and play softball with my work team, I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it just, you know, for the kicks. And things are what you make it out of everybody. And, you know, like I make videos on YouTube. I choose to review. I've worked really hard for 10 years. That's a long time off of my life. 10 years of covering video games, covering nerd culture stuff, movies, TV, film, everything that I've put into this channel. But it was no waste of time, in my opinion. I feel that the time and investment that I've put into the channel, no matter how big or small or however many views I get or somebody else gets, it's a passion. The money on top of it, that's something nice. It's not something that's required. It's not something that makes the motivation to do it. Because I think I was on YouTube for like a solid 5 years before I even made a single piece of monetary on it. But that's just my personal experience. But on side of that, I was playing video games for decades before I even got on YouTube. And I'm going to be playing video games for decades after I'm off of YouTube. So to me, video games have always just been a real big, crucial part of my life. Honestly, I can't imagine what I would be as a gamer if I didn't play video games, or as a person, I should say, if I didn't play video games. I think I would be pretty boring. It's almost safe to say, if you have not played a video game in your life at this one point, I couldn't even imagine that, whether it's on your phone, whether it's built into your TV, whether it's an arcade. Honestly, I feel that they're a bigger multimedia medium than even television is at this point. So many people play some of these games. For example, I mentioned GTA 5. That has made billions of dollars than any other type of like online entertainment besides porn. You know, porn. You know, but is porn a waste of time? You're just sitting there jerking your gherkin, and you know, if you eat Cheetos, you get your wiener orange. But no, what I was saying in regards to this is, some people just like to play them to escape. So like my niece, for example, she's going to be in 3rd grade. She plays Roblox. She watches YouTubers play it and she plays it. She's absolutely in love with it. And, you know, is it a waste of time to her? No, because it's something that allows her to decompose after, you know, hard days of doing homework or school. You know, sometimes she has bad days. You know, sometimes she might not get along with other kids in class. And that was just like me. High school, you know, I suffered from, you know, everything from being bullied to bullying kids to girlfriends to bad relationships to stress from finals. You know, being able to play games like Wind Waker and other games at the time that were coming out gave me that avenue of escape that I needed. And to me, that's not a waste of time. You can't put a waste of time label on something that means something differently. You know, what Joe Rogan feels about video games is not the end all be all of what people should feel about video games. And you know what? That's fair. He can have his own opinion. Nobody's angry in this camp. But I realize that this kind of set fire to a lot of people. And in my opinion, that shows that video games are a lot bigger than what they really are, than what people feel about them, than what people perceive them as, because you can't deny that. If you feel passionate about something, if something really means a lot to you, you're going to sit there and defend it. And, you know, he knew what he was doing saying that. He has his whole demographic is people in my age group, from like the 25-year-olds to like the 45-year-olds, males. That's the people that are playing video games. That's the majority of gamers, you know, the people playing the PlayStation 4s and the Xbox Ones and stuff like that. So he knew what he was saying in that. And whether that was to cause some engagement, maybe some publicity, you know what? He's an expert. He's making money sitting around doing a podcast. To some people, sitting around talking in a microphone, doing a podcast might seem like a waste of time. But he also has his eggs in a lot of baskets. So this kind of goes on with the theory of what he's saying. Play more than one thing, so when the game is finished, you're not alone with it. So he has a podcast. He's a commentator. He does martial arts and stuff. So he's gotten a lot. And that's kind of like what I do. I know I don't really divulge into my personal life experiences, but in high school, I was in sports. Was I the most athletically given people? No. I played football. In middle school, I did basketball, track, and I did football. I did soccer, and I always just did that. I do fun activities once in a while. YouTube, sure, gaming consumes a lot of your time, but it's not what I do constantly. I go out, I swim, I walk, I wrestle. I've been wrestling for 19 years of my life. In fact, pro wrestling has taken more of a precedence over my life than the YouTube has, and I haven't made money on either one. So it's like, if somebody's doing it just for the money, but they're not making money, is it a waste of time, or is it a passion? Is it an escape? To me, YouTube, playing video games, and wrestling is an escape from reality. It's an escape from my everyday life. It's an escape from dealing with family, dealing with personal issues, dealing with life in general, relationships, things like that. I've just enjoyed gaming so much that it single-handedly changed my life. This wall back here is not just a wall of collectibles. People like to say, oh, collectors just get these games so they can just have them on their shelf and show them off and resell them. No, to me, this is a wall of memories. Some of these games are games that I had when I was like 6 or 7, and they were spent playing those games on summer vacations or spring breaks or Thanksgiving holidays, at grandma's house or at my uncle's or at my own house with friends, with some of my best friends. Some of the greatest times of my life were playing some of these games, like A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 3. There's a list of thousands of memories on this wall. This is almost like a physical object of like of a memory museum of my head. This is like my life right here. And to this day, I'm always going to buy games. Is it a waste of time? Maybe to you. Is it a waste of time to me? No, it's my escape. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to kind of do like a silly rant little video and stuff like that, talking about this trending topic. I'm not mad at Joe Rogan, so don't say 8-Bit Eric's triggered and all that. No, I listen to his podcast all the time. Check the one out where they talk about Bob Lazar with the UFOs and the aliens. Fucking fantastic. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching as always. What do you guys think? Have you even known anything about this? Did you see the podcast? Did you see the trending thing? Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Peace out. Joe Rogan, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. No, I'm just joking. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.